have any work and no money, so he decided
Friday morning and we're off on our tour.
One more submarine on the right hand side. It's a museum now. But anyway, so the name Leningrad is closely connected with the siege of Leningrad. That's very important. The siege of Leningrad lasted for 900 days. And in 1991 the Soviet Union collapsed, and they decided to get rid of all these old Soviet names. You know, it was very important to have the historical names back, and the name of the city, of course, our city was not an exception. They decided to rename it. But in those...
This is Mariinsky Palace. The parliament is here. And now we've stopped to see St. Isaac's church. We'll be here later today, but you can't take a shot from really far away with that.
The Russian field marshals.
What's the name of this again?
Kazansky Cathedral.
Kazansky Cathedral.
Yep. We have those pictures. Just saw Starbucks.
Starbucks.
Oh, you
here,
did?
Yeah, it's across the street here.
Ooh, if you want the mug.
You want to go?
Here we are at Starbucks. We're going to go get a mug. We only have a few minutes. Okay, we found Starbucks. We're going to go get a mug. Todd is leading us. Most of the group is going. They are open 24 hours. And here we are at Starbucks in St. Petersburg. That's a really nice view. Okay. Crossing the street. Crossing the street with all the traffic. We've just come from Starbucks.
Named after General Anishkov, who actually constructed this palace, and later the bridge was also named Anichkov Bridge. Also the general constructed that part of the city. He was a famous engineer. And the palace that we see on the left was used by the son of the emperor, the heir to the throne, David Elizabeth, the daughter of Peter the Great, but the project was not implemented. So Catherine II, when she came to power, she decided to face all the embankments with granite, and that helped to raise the streets, actually, because the floods always interfered with the life of the local people, and they needed to find a solution to this big problem. The Italian family, who got the permission from the local authorities to construct a permanent circus on the left-hand side, and this place was constructed in the 19th century, was quite popular. And in this part of the city we see the smallest monument of St. Petersburg. So on the left-hand side there is a small kiosk you can see, and in the middle of the wall there is a small pedestal with a small bird on it. Somebody purchased it and turned it into a
fan zone where we were yesterday. People are on their way to the fan zone.
There's the church. The dome, go to the church on the left-hand side. The church on the spilled blood reminds us of the murder that happened. On the Hermitage Theater.
This is the Hermitage we're going.
On the right-hand side.
Sort of through
windows
cross path there
on the yellow wall on the right hand side. So this part of the wall is the only part of the Winter Palace of Peter I. Now on the right you can see two windows, different design. This is the Winter Palace of Peter, and the rest of the building is the Hermitage Theater. And we are now sitting under this famous arch, and certainly reminds us a little bit of Venice when we look at this.
Now we're going to the main river of St. Petersburg.
Comes from the Finnish language, from the word nebo. Nebo means the marshlands. The Neva River is not very long, it's about 75 kilometers long, about 35 kilometers goes through the city of St. Petersburg. On the left-hand side you can see the palace bridge. This is one of the drawbridges on the palace. And the area on the left with the two red columns, this is the former port of St. Petersburg. This is the wide crossing of the Neva River here, 1,200 meters wide, and the ships could easily come here. The building of the stock exchange, the customs office, the warehouses were located on the left-hand side. Daily focus people have
roof, and immediately there are two canals to the left from this tower.
They're on their way to see something.
Thank you.
Yeah, really?
Russia!
And on the territory of the summer garden, on our right-hand side, you can see the two-storied structure. This is the summer palace of Peter the First, one of the summer residences. And it was
Coming under the bridge of the Four Horses as we go on our way back.
Here you come up on the right.
Okay. Here we are at the first museum of the morning. And you can't take pictures inside, so I'll have to buy a book. Picking up a piece of metal that I guess people were tripping over. And so he's pulling it up and she's sweeping, and then all the groups can go in. This is the theater inside the palace.
Can we get you there, Jeff? Would you come get with your bride?
Okay, we've returned to St. Isaac Church and we'll be going inside. Took pictures of the outside earlier. This is 1818 it was started. Look at this chandelier. St. Isaac was the patron saint of St. Peter the Great. The fourth largest cathedral in Europe.
Cathedral in Europe is dome, one dome. St. Peter's, yes, St. Peter's in Rome, correct? That's number 2.
The Duomo and no?
Not in
And
Paris.
Florence?
Florence is number 3.
Okay.
Florence is number
That's the
3.
Duomo, right?
Yeah, yes, yes. And number 2, London, St. Paul. Yes. So ours is number 4. St. Peter, St. Paul, one at Florence, and ours is number 4. So this church is not an active cathedral, this is a museum, and the services do not take place here, but if people want to participate in this small service, they have to go to a special side chapel, which is located behind this column, and there's a small part which is given to the believers who come to this church. And let us see how it is. So when we completed the invited a lot of painters, artists who started the decoration of the cathedral. They deteriorated very quickly because of the damp climate, and decided to replace all the paintings with mosaics.
Oh my God.
Started at the end of the 19th century, and at the beginning of the 20th century, the revolution started, and the project was stopped, and only low-level decorations were replaced with mosaics. They are decorated with mosaics. And here on the iconostasis, I can ask you to find the main icon of the cathedral. Let me ask you again. So I taught you yesterday, how do you find the main icon?
To the right-hand side of the
To
doorway.
the right of the doorway, and which number then? First, second, third?
Oh, second.
Second, absolutely correct. So number 2, you see this man with the beard, with the hood, this is Saint Isaac. Saint Isaac was a real person. He lived in the 4th century, our era. He was a very passionate Christian. He was walking from one pagan village to another where he tried to convert people into Christianity. But they killed, in one of the villages, they killed him for that. And later he was canonized by the church, and before it split into Orthodox and Catholic. So that's why he is respected in both confessions. Tickets, tours.
So there were 4 St. Isaac's cathedrals. First design was this, the smallest one, and then this one, and then this one, which is a little bit bigger, and then here is the one we're in now. Inside St. Isaac's Cathedral. It's really big. Really big. We're going across the bridge now to the fortress. And then we'll be having lunch and the bus going on the road.
Okay, so we are in the fortress now. We are going to drive closer to the main entrance. Here again, we need our cameras and we need our receivers and earphones. That's all we need. Please be careful when we are walking because they have a lot of cobblestones here in the main square. So we will visit with you the cathedral where all the members of the royal family are buried, all the Romanovs. So we are going to see this place, and of course Peter the Great is buried inside of this church.
This is the Russian mint over here. It's called Mint Yard in Russian.
We buried him in this place, and he chose this place himself. He chose this corner here.
St. Peter.
Peter the Great, right here. Peter the Great. Peter the First is buried here. Next to him, Catherine the First, his wife. Next to them, Elizabeth the First, their daughter. And Catherine the Second, right there. You see the Russian letter name Catherine starts with letter E. Next to her, her husband Peter the Third. And Anna the First, the niece of Peter. She ruled for 10 years of stagnation, so that's why we don't like to mention her name. Nothing really happened. The best her favorite pastime was shooting birds out of the window. Here, and we all know the story about Anastasia, Princess Anastasia. There was even a lady in New York, I think in the 60s, who claimed that she was the daughter of Nicholas II. But today we know the truth. Anastasia was murdered together with other members of the family. She did not manage to escape like Walt Disney showed in his animated movie that she was running away from Grigory Rasputin, but Rasputin was dead by that time. So he died in 1916. Anastasia died in 1918.
They're all
They
buried
couldn't
together.
find Alexei, the son, and one of the daughters, Maria, because the Bolsheviks buried them a little bit away from the main
grave. So we don't know why they did that, and we don't know why they actually cut their bodies into pieces. That's what they found out when they started the investigation.
This is
And
the
now,
ashes,
so the
all in one
upper
family.
part, like underneath, so there is a place. So upper level is for the members of the royal family. The lower level for the people who were murdered together with them, including the doctor, the cook, and a couple of servants were killed together with the family. So they are buried today here in the church as well.
Are they
Same.
fresh flowers too?
Yeah, they bring a lot. People bring a lot of flowers to the tomb of Nicholas II, and just showing respect. Or,
Yeah, it's just.
Son of Alexander II and his wife Empress Maria. But when you look at the tombstone of Empress Maria, you see that it looks brand new. Although she died in 1928, but she managed to escape from Russia. This is the mother of Nicholas II. She went to Denmark, to her home country, because she was a Danish princess, and she died there in 1928 and was buried there together with other members of the Danish royal house. But her last will was to be buried next to her husband, Alexander III, and became possible only in 2006 when the Soviet Union collapsed, and after long negotiations with the Danish government, they agreed to rebury her here next to her husband. So that's why the name plaque is new, and the tombstone is only, 12 years old. This person ruled the country. So double-headed eagles show us
First half of the 19th century. Says Paul. World War II, this building was saved because these 5 paratroopers of some sort covered the dome, camouflaged it, and so the building survived. And that's why this memorial is for those 5 men. Here we go. Should be the noontime shot. That's it once?
That's it.
I shouldn't have taken it with my camera because
This is the highest building in St. Petersburg. It's what?
Yeah, to try to keep it.
they did that in many cities.
Yes. Blackout. Yes.
Now we're heading back across the bridge. We stopped at this place for some coffee samples, vodka samples, and gift stuff. It's really the only time we have time to go shopping, so to speak. We have Putin chocolate and Russian chocolate. Okay, we're now at Peterhof Gardens. We don't go in the palace, and a lot of people here. It appears to be some kind of graduation party for cadets coming up ahead of us. Very popular place because the gardens are so special. So we're heading inside now. Bam.
Yeah, все!
300 acres, and this is the smallest garden. Only gravity fountain.
How does it get up there?
It's called Triton. This is called the Chessboard Cafe or the Dragon Cafe because there's 3 of them. Cascade, not cafe. Yes,
Here.
that's me, okay.
So taking pictures, and some bad guy taking the rubles from the pocket. So if you see the man with the mask on the eyes, so you know that this is the pocket, the pickpocket. Okay?
This is a trick fountain. The water comes up periodically. You can see the people running. I don't know if you can see the water. You have to throw the coin into the boot. Todd tried to do it, didn't work. This is the aviary.
There is a man sitting behind the bench. Behind the bench, there is a man in the uniform, and he does that. Yes, he opens the valve. He has the handle. He has the handle to do that. Oh my! It's a joke.
That's why he looks so happy, right?
It's his job.
Now we're going through the arch, and we're going to the Bay of Finland.
Your ships, all the ships are docked a little bit further. If you move further to the next suspension bridge, there are ships, and yours is the very left one. This is your ship.
See the tall?
Closer to the bridge. Then the bridge and
That's the tall building that's in St. Petersburg.
And this tower, that glass tower, this famous
right.
tower with that tower for the gas drum, the oil and gas drum. Okay, got it.
So this is the view from St. Peter's house that we decided wanted to be out in the water. Said you could see St. Petersburg, which is about 45 minutes away. This is Adam's fountain, the fountain of Adam. This is the original. It was hidden during the World War II. The Russians hid this before the Germans came. So here's one canal. These are connected where everybody's taking pictures. And there's the big one. Goes up to the palace.
Vamos de este lado, más rápido.
Okay.
Ya, ¿y todo? Estamos filmando,
Our way back to the ship.
You bought that? Okay, so that. Okay, it's good that I already have your surveys here, okay, so you will not change the marks that you gave to me. But anyway, I wish you all the best, good health. In Russia we always say "Na zdorovye" when we drink vodka. "Na zdorovye" means to your good health. We drink to be healthy, not to be drunk. And come again to Russia. You have now two friends here, Vadim, our driver, and myself, Alex. So, and I'm sure that you can leave some messages on Cruise Critics or TripAdvisor about your stay, because people find us because they read all these messages, and sometimes it's really helpful. Don't forget your belongings on the bus, because tomorrow you will not see this bus 444. And come again to Russia and follow the World Cup of soccer, and follow our Russian team, and maybe we will make it out of the group and get to the playoff game, so we'll see.
It's exactly 6 o'clock, and the last shots of St. Petersburg. There's the soccer stadium where there's a game tonight.
With this St. Petersburg, you know, because we spent so much for those tickets, you know what I mean?
Oh, sure.
And for the 2-day thing, you know.
But it's like,
Could you imagine going to all those places in the rain?
Yeah. Which comes sailing away now. Now we're an hour and a half south of St. Petersburg, and we are told we are going to see some kind of land as we come to a channel, and that's what this is. We're having dinner actually at this hour, so the light is what you see at 7:40. It's 11:15. The sun is just about going down, so a little bit left of the sun. Friday?